Welcome to Quick Finance, Jacob. Today we have a Sunday, January 3rd, 2021 live stream with Andrew Hutchinson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you today?
Doing good. So we got an election coming up pretty soon. We have a Georgia runoff. So I see polling data from 538 showing it's pretty close race. Technically, both Democrats are on the average leading, but only by like 1 or 2 percentage points. So it's going to be a close race. We'll see what happens. But I think SNDL is still the main stock we're looking at.
So a couple of things to point out there that are pretty important to follow. First is that the Democratic Party would have to win both seats to get majority of the House, or to get majority of the Senate. And up until December 23rd, it was inversed. Republicans had the slight advantage. And if we all remember, what happened right around December 23rd was about the time that Trump said, I want $2,000 stimulus package, and sent his party into chaos.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, talking about SNDL stock, the trend is looking like they could take both seats. Because as of right now this is polling data, so you can take it for what it's worth, but people are not very happy with the Republican Party at all right now.
Yeah.
Not saying they're overly thrilled with the Democratic Party, but as of right now, everything depends on Georgia voters, period. There's no other way to look at it.
You definitely look at the polling data over the past a little bit since the Senate was blocking or trying to change the stimulus check for $2,000, whatever term you want to use. This has been a bump up for both Ossoff and Warnock Democrat candidates in those races. So that's what you're saying about people aren't really too enthusiastic about either party, but especially the Republicans because of the debate, whether we agree with it or not. There's so negative correlation with them as a whole.
And on top of that, you have so if they win both seats, the reason why SNDL matters, like we talk about, is because it's a pot stock. Well, in the House of Representatives, they've already passed a bill that would basically make marijuana legal everywhere. And then now it's blocked in the Senate. So from an investor standpoint, it's definitely something that you want to keep an eye on. SNDL could go through, I'm not saying through the roof. I want to temper expectations here. What we're looking for is like a 15-cent up, just a 15-cent increase. I call that a win at this point. If it goes up 30 cents, that's a huge win. But right now it's at 49 cents a share. So it's not like it can go up 100%. I mean, it can, but it's very unlikely just off that news. Now, if the Democratic Party were to win, I could easily see this stock double, period. It's very inexpensive. And the company itself has actually talked about how their goals are to get it to $1 stock by June. So they're very aware of how their stock is being presented right now.
So if it gets to $1 by June, that'd be doubling the price over a 6-month period. Sounds like a really good investment to me, possibly. We'll see what happens. But if it does double, that would 100% increase in less than a year. Most stocks don't do that.
Yeah, and just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor, but I bought a lot of it. And even if I were to see it go down, if it were to spike up on Tuesday, possibly sell and take some profits. But if it goes down, I'm not panic selling. I mean, it could go down to 20 cents, and then I'm just going to buy 1,000 more shares. Because what we've talked about here is in the 6-month term, they see that being $1 stock. So if I can buy at a discount, I'm going to go for it, because come June, I'll just go on vacation.
Yeah.
This is my vacation money. Let's have some fun.
Do you see any other stocks going up or down based off the election results?
TLRY could go up again. Again, it's another pot stock. Aurora Cannabis, ACB, is another really good one.
Oh, ACB. Yeah, that's...
Anything tied to green energy as well. Clean Spark, CLSK, that could definitely see, you could see a big pop with that this week. There's a lot of uncertainty with the runoffs, but energy and marijuana seem to be the two leaders in the house right now when it comes to what's trending on Tuesday.
Definitely. Do you see any other catalysts this coming month or two besides the election for certain stocks?
Well, there is a giant one. I mean, on the 6th, the Electoral College is going to vote. And I mean, whether or not you just who knows? There's a lot of rumor of protests in DC. I mean, turmoil. So realistically, until there's an official person in the chair, we don't really know what's going to happen. You know, and then at the end of the month, you have the Electoral College vote. That's going to be another big catalyst. Really hoping that this vaccine starts to get distributed more so people can at least feel safer and get outdoors. Yeah. I don't know if you've been following what's going on in California, but it sounds like a hellscape right now. And as long as that's continuing to go the direction it's going, it's going to be a rough couple months, period.
Especially California this past year or so has had those wildfires, even up here in the Northwest. Yeah. Pacific Northwest, California, there's definitely been the wildfires, the viruses, other things going on. So it's caused a lot of issues for regular people.
I was reading an article, and you have to forgive me, I can't remember the name. I want to say it was one of the few CNN articles, but it was basically saying that California healthcare workers are begging Gavin Newsom to bring the Mercy ship back because they're stretched to capacity. So that gives you an indication of how bad that is, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that does not sound like good news at all.
No,
for California especially. Let's see here. I do see this year coming up, the next couple of years, healthcare stocks doing really well. One of these is GEVO. The past month or so, they've been on a pretty good rampage. Especially last weeks, they've gone from around a few weeks ago, about $2 a share, up now to $4.26 a share. Definitely see a lot of these stocks, healthcare stocks, going up too, with not even stocks that are associated like Moderna and Pfizer associated with the coronavirus. But definitely see this kind of couple of years, a lot of healthcare startups as part of the general trend towards more healthcare investment infrastructure going up as well. We have GEVO, we have DMAC going up as well the past month or so, about $5 a share up to now $10.14 a share. So do you see this trend continuing in the next few years as well, or what are your thoughts on healthcare stocks?
Healthcare is definitely going to become very important. Hopefully this is a real wake-up call for people on just how to take care of yourself in general. Moderna is way overpriced right now, and so is Pfizer stocks. So I wouldn't really be too interested in those right now. Boys. So anyways, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go play dad now because it sounds like one of them needs a potty break. But until next week, I hope to have I'd like to kind of go over some strategy on how to actually make some money in the market.
Exactly.
Short term. So especially for those of you who have small accounts, 500 or 1,000, we can. My son knows how to turn on the microwave. This is a lesson in patience. Always be patient in the stock market too. So, well, we will see you all next week. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you next week. All right. So definitely you mentioned Moderna possibly being overvalued. It's gone up, seems like 4 or 5-fold over the past year or so. So definitely we've seen a bit of a correction the past, looks like a month or so. Let's see, peaked around December 7th, about a month ago. There's definitely a correction going on there. Pfizer, I actually don't know how to spell Pfizer. That's definitely something to look at. Keep in mind is these, some stocks may be overvalued or might have gone up too much too quickly. So it could be a correction. Speaking of corrections, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin almost hit $35,000 a Bitcoin a day or two ago. A week ago during our live stream, I was predicting $35,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. And the co-host was, I believe he agreed with me as well. Well, less than a week after that live stream, Bitcoin almost hit 35,000. So you have 34,500, 34,400. Definitely past Dairy 2. Looks like it's been correcting a little bit. It's gone up recently. But definitely, as we look at the past charts here, we see, let's see if we can go to maybe, go to Coinbase. So as we can see from Coinbase, we see going up, stagnate here, consolidating up a little bit, steady March, stagnating a little bit, consolidating, massive bump up, drop off, not quite towards the support level here, but drop off, bouncing back up. Tries to hit that upper limit again, doesn't work out, coming back down, coming back up the past few hours, it looks like. So definitely see Bitcoin hitting 35K probably in the next few weeks at most. I could be wrong, not a financial advisor, but I definitely see Bitcoin testing these limits again pretty soon. So the thing to watch out for is we got Bitcoin, we got SNDL, ACBD, so healthcare stocks. Last one I covered Tesla, so I'm not sure it's gonna, let's see here. Over the past year or so, Tesla's been on a complete rampage upward. A lot of people think it's overvalued. It may be, it may not be. However, they believe they met their 500,000 car sale goal for 2020, and definitely see them, selling more, producing more next year as well. But let's look at Tesla over the past year or so, up a little bit around, the March when things started going downhill, dropped off, steady increase. Around late January, July, bumped up, consolidated a little bit. August 10th went up, went down, consolidate. Didn't quite test the limit here, but it broke that 20 moving average. Went back up, consolidating. It seems like we had every couple of months, it seems like it's 2 to 3 months, it seems like it's having some sort of, bump up here, or it has a new limit, bump up, new limit, bump up. It's going up a little bit more here, staying above that 20 moving average. So if this trend of Tesla continues, we could see them consolidate next few months, go back up to whatever, 800, 900,000, who knows? So anyway, this is our live stream. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the 10th. Thank you. Bye. Ooh. I need to